Hello, Grand Park community. Welcome to your Yoga Allah retreat. It's Courtney, and I'm really glad you're here to practice with us today. And today we are going to focus on forward folds. So forward folds, that means that we're going to be doing a lot of hamstring opening, some shoulder stuff, the actual act of folding, of kind of bowing into ourselves, is a beautiful way to help with anxiety, to go inside, to be a little bit more introspective. And yoga philosophy talks, especially when discussing meditation, about withdrawing from the external world so that we can know and remember our humanity. And by doing that, I find that when I kind of come to know myself, to come to reset myself, to know my inner peace, I tend to treat other people, meeting them from that place. It doesn't always happen, but it is a really beautiful practice to take some time. Not that we ignore the world or kind of go into like a state of like denial, but the practice of just making a little bit of time in our day to go inside, to regroup, to settle our own selves and our own bodies is a really beautiful, powerful practice for helping us settle the world. So, with all that being said, you don't need anything. If you have a mat, great. If you don't, great. You might want a blanket to pad your knees, or extra layers at the end for when we do some less active stuff, if you know that you're going to get a little chilly. So let's just start with a check-in. So find a tall spine, maybe sitting up on something, settling your shoulders away from your ears, softening in your jaw. Let's close our eyes. Feel your body in space. Maybe even becoming aware of your body for the first time today. And just acknowledging wherever your head is right now. So is it still kind of out in the external world? Can you draw it in to this time for yourself? Can you come to start to notice your breath? And use the breath as a way to go inside. So maybe starting to slow down the breath. Maybe starting to lengthen your exhales so they match the length of your inhales. And then just checking in with your beautiful heart. There's a lot of heaviness right now, so just checking in with your heart, being with any emotions that are there, any hurt or anger or joy, and just sitting with them like you would a friend. We'll just take a couple breaths of acknowledgement into our heart. And then go ahead and flutter your eyes open, start to draw back in your space, but keep a soft gaze in your eyes. So this practice today is going to be less about solving and fixing and being in our external life, and to give ourselves some time in our inner life. So let's start our practice today in child's pose. So child's pose is the ultimate pose of withdrawal, of surrender. So knees come wide, wider than your hips. If you have a mat, it usually is about the length of your mat. And then you'll offer your heart towards the floor, maybe setting your forehead down on the earth. If it doesn't touch naturally, you could stack your fists and rest your forehead down on your fists. You could also put a pillow underneath your head. But really allow your head to rest on something. And then if it's uncomfortable to draw your seat back towards your heels, you could also put something underneath your hips. So maybe like a pillow, a blanket. So the hips are resting on something, the forehead is resting on something. And then you get to choose what positioning of your arms feels better for you today. So you could have your hands down by your feet. You could have your hands up and overhead. See if you can allow your body to sink into the floor, to ground, to be supported, to be held. And then we're just going to take 3 breaths together here. So a counted breath. Let your exhale come all the way out. Through your nose, draw in breath for 2, 3, 4. Pause your breath for 1. And then through your nose, exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause your breath out. Through your nose, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause your breath. And then exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause breath out. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause breath. And then exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause out. And then just start to find your own controlled breath cycle. So inhales through the nose, exhales through the nose. If your hands are down by your feet, extend them up and overhead. We're going to come into a side body stretch here. So coming up to little finger claws, we'll take a walk to the right about a foot, and then we'll sink our left heel, or our left hip, back for our left heel. So breathing into the entire left side body. Walking back to center, take a little walk about a foot to the left, and then sink your right hip for your right heel, breathing and opening through your entire right side. From here, walk yourself back to center, press yourself up, hands and knees. We'll come in for cat-cow, so we're gonna pause in our cat poses. So that pose where the spine is curled. So from here on your inhale, let your belly drop, let your heart rise. And then exhale, press into your knuckles, round in your upper back. Release your head, nose is in towards your belly button. Find a couple breaths into your upper shoulders. And then the next time you inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Exhale, curl in your spine. Take a pause here. Let the breath move through. So releasing head, pressing into knuckles, breathing some space into your upper back. Steadying your gaze, or maybe even closing your eyes here. So you're welcome as much as you want today to close the eyes during practice. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Exhale, curl in your spine. We'll take one last pause here. Let your head go. Nose comes in towards belly button. Find a gaze point or close your eyes. And then find your neutral spine. We'll keep the knees stacked underneath the hips. Walk your arms up and overhead into a V. And then tap your forehead or the top of your head down. So we're in what we call puppy dog pose. The heart is melting for the floor. The arms are active here. So the armpits are hugging in, the fingers are spread wide. We're getting a stretch in the upper back. Maybe close your eyes, send some breaths to any areas of tightness or tension. And then find your way to downward facing dog. So hips lift up and back, bending your knees a lot probably to start. So listening and honoring the backs of the legs. Let your head go. Weight is forward in the knuckles. Armpits are hugging in. Heart is melting back for your thighs. Release your head. And then just checking with the backs of the hamstrings today. So maybe pedaling out the feet, so bending one knee, flattening opposite foot. So seeing where you are today, we will be doing some hamstring openings. So it's nice to kind of check in and know how we can take care of ourselves today, where the hamstrings are, to be sensitive and not force anything. From here, we're going to roll forward to a plank. Shoulders stack over wrists, belly scoops into spine. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to a plank, belly scoops into spine. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, hips come up and back, down dog. From here, we'll walk the hands back for the feet. Find yourself in a forward fold, so releasing your head. If your low back hurts today, maybe taking your feet a little bit wider just to create more space for your back. Glue your feet to the earth and then either grabbing opposite elbows or letting your fingertips dangle. Release your head. Maybe a little yes and no, maybe so. Find your breath. And then maybe close your eyes here, ground your feet into the earth, and then slowly start to roll yourself up to a stand with your eyes closed, just feeling into your body. Find your mountain pose. Find your breath. Flutter your eyes open here. Inhale, rise your arms tall. Exhale, fold the body in half. We'll pause here again. We're going to come in for 3 halfway lifts and 3 exhale folds. Hands to shin. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Walk yourself back out to a plank pose. We're going to take a little bit of strength here. So if you don't want to do this, you can tap your knees down to the earth. We're going to come into some strengthening for the core and for the arms. So the right hand's going to reach up for the left shoulder, tap it down. Left hand reaches up for the right shoulder and tap it down. Just a couple more. Right hand to left shoulder, tap it down. Left hand to right shoulder, tap it down. One more time or not. Right hand comes to left shoulder, tap it down. Left hand comes to right shoulder, tap it down. Downward facing dog. Look towards your right hand, step your right foot, spin your back foot flat, press into your feet. Find your way up to a warrior one. Keep your gaze soft, maybe even keep your gaze low, or maybe even close your eyes here. From here, interlace your hands behind your low back or grab opposite elbows. We'll lift our heart tall. And then as you exhale, fold your heart inside your right thigh. Let your head go. Keep your right hip reaching back. Find your breath. Take one more inhale and one more exhale. And then the next time you exhale, press yourself up, warrior one. Hands come down inside your right foot, and then let's all tap the left knee down. So sliding the left knee back an inch or two, so we're not on top of the kneecap, release the top of your foot. Right knee stays stacked over the right ankle. We stay with the chin tucked into the chest. We're in a stretch for the upper left hip here. So option to stay here if you have more space. You can come down to your elbows, but not forcing anything. Maybe closing your eyes here, feeling into your hip and meeting any tension there with your breath. Right hand comes outside the right foot. We're going to come into half split, so nothing crazy. Coming back to stand up on the left knee. You can put a blanket underneath your knee if you need. Right leg starts to extend. It does not have to go straight. Right toes are facing the face. And then offer your heart, let your chin fall into your chest. So finding an opening in the back of your right leg. Maybe closing your eyes here, feeling into the experience, breathing with it, breathing through it. Walking your hands forward, tuck your back toes, and then send your right foot back to meet your left. Downward facing dog. Before the other side, we're just going to do some strength to keep our bodies warm. So rolling forward to a plank, belly scoops into your spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more times. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to roll forward to a plank again. We're going to do one more set of that little arm and belly strengthener. So you can come down to a child's pose and rest if you'd rather rest right now. So right hand comes to left shoulder, tap it down. Left hand comes to right shoulder, tap it down. Right hand comes to left shoulder, tap it down. Are you breathing? Left hand comes to right shoulder, tap it down. One more each side, find your breath. Right hand to left. Left hand to right shoulder. Plank, downward facing dog. Really nice, find your breath. Looking forward to your hands, left foot steps for the left hand, back foot spins flat. Keep a soft gaze, keep looking low, and find your way to warrior one. Left hip reaching back, outer edge of your back foot pressing down. Feel your feet underneath you. You can take your left foot out to the left. That'll create more stability. Find your interlace behind your back or grab opposite elbows. Find a lift of your heart. Send your interlace back. Keep your gaze low And then fold your heart inside your left thigh. Let your head go. Let your arms come up and overhead. Find your breath. Take one more inhale, exhale. Press down into your feet. Inhale up, warrior one. And then release your hands down inside your left foot. Tap your right knee down. Slide your right knee back so that you're not resting on top of your kneecap. Top of your foot releases. Hands are inside your left knee, your left foot. And then keep that left knee stacked over your left ankle. Find your breath. Release your chin into your chest. For most of us, we'll stay here. This is plenty for me. If you have a lot more flexibility and mobility, you are welcome to come down to your forearms, but only do that if it helps you feel more in your breath and in your body. Left hand goes outside the left foot. We'll come back into our half split. So stacking yourself up on your right knee. Remember, you can put a blanket or padding underneath that right knee. You can bend your left leg any amount, a lot, a little bit, not at all. Left toes flex back to the face. Chin falls into the chest, and then the heart melts down for the floor. So we're getting an opening in the back of our left leg. Walking yourself forward, tucking your back toes, send your left foot back to the right, downward facing dog. And then let's all find a child's pose. So knees come wide, big toes come together, sink your hips back for your heels, settle your forehead down on something. And remember, stacking pillows underneath your head or your hips if you need that support. So just checking in here, find your breath if you've lost control of it. Maybe close your eyes, feel into the benefits of a folding practice. Maybe see how your perspective or your mood has shifted. And then option to stay and rest if you need more rest, or walking yourself up. Let's find our way to a seat. So we'll come in for a series of seated forward folds now. So soles of feet come together, knees come wide, feet come in as close as feels okay for the inner thighs. So this is an inner thigh stretch. Ideally, we'd like to find that spot where we feel something like tightness, but we can still meet it and move through it with our breath. So it's going to be a little different for all of us. The closer your feet are in, the more you will feel and experience the stretch. So option to stay upright, bowing your chin into your chest, or folding your heart like it could fall over your toes, any amount. You can use your elbows as gentle pressure on your inner thighs if you need to deepen the pose. You don't always need to deepen the pose. Go inside here, work with your breath. Maybe especially in these poses where we don't need a whole lot of balance, a whole lot of standing, maybe do this entire part on the floor with your eyes closed, really feeling and listening into your body. If you're folded, rise yourself up. Take your feet a little bit farther forward so you have more of a diamond or a triangle in your legs. Hands maybe come below the knees, maybe on the shins or around the ankles. Find a lift of your heart. We're getting into the outer thighs here. So if you use your hands and lift yourself, you'll start to feel something probably on your outer thighs. You're welcome to stay there with the chin into the chest, or any amount. Start to fold your heart, not rounding in the spine, but folding your heart forward like you're reaching it beyond your toes, and then allow your chin to fall into your chest. Option to close your eyes here. As you inhale, rise yourself up if you're folded. This time both legs extend out, so we're in what looks like some form of an L pose. If your hamstrings are really tight today, honor them. Maybe sit up on something. You could also put something underneath your hamstrings to bring the floor closer to you. So there's no need to force in yoga. And if we actually support ourselves and release so that we can breathe, we create more opening than if we like jerk ourselves into poses and try to force and hold breath. So find a place in your legs where there's tension that you can meet with breath. Rise your heart tall, find length in your spine. And then any amount, maybe a lot, maybe a little bit, start to reach your heart like it could beam up and over your toes. And then bow your chin into your chest, release the back of your head. And listen. So introspection and a forward fold practice is about listening to ourselves, honoring what is true, knowing what our body needs, knowing what our hearts need. And I really do think when we get good at this within ourselves, we get really good at recognizing it in others. So when we can know the truth of our own hearts, we can know the truth of other hearts. That's why I love this practice so much. It's all wrapped up in our shared humanity, in honoring truth, in honoring difference, in honoring that we're all the same. See if you can watch yourself take 5 more full inhales, 5 more full exhales. So really watching the breath come in, really watching the breath go out. We're taking a little more time here today. Watch yourself take 1 more full inhale, full exhale. And then inhale, rise yourself up. And I forgot to mention, if you have a piece of cloth, like a clean towel, a t-shirt, a clean sock, nothing dirty, I'm gonna offer us to put that over our eyes as a way to fully go inside ourselves for our guided meditation and rest. So take the time. If you have something, you can get creative. I usually use just like a dish towel, go ahead and grab that and then find a comfortable position on your back. If you have low back stuff, it might be the most comfortable to bend your knees and rest the soles of the feet underneath your knees. You can lay flat. You can rest your hands on the body, off the body. Just listen to yourself. See what feels good, somewhere where you can be still for a few minutes. And then if you do have a piece of cloth, a t-shirt, a towel, anything really, maybe cover your eyes so that you can kind of withdraw from the external world for just a couple more minutes. So setting it up, I'm going to come up to screen to talk us through some stuff. So make sure that you're in a position where you can fully rest your body. And we'll come in for some pranayama, so some breath work. We'll take a guided meditation and then we'll take some rest. So it's all inside. Really make yourself comfortable, add a layer, anything you need to do here to be more comfortable. And then if you don't have a towel or something to cover your eyes, I'm really going to recommend closing your eyes, giving yourself a chance to go inward. And then we'll come into 10 rounds of breath together. So it's just going to be our simple counted breath exercise where we inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and then I'll count us through. So it's a really nice way to steady the mind because we're counting. So the mind can kind of steady on the counting and we stay present in our breath. So this is something you could do for yourself if you're ever like in a thought pattern that doesn't feel healthy. If you're having trouble sleeping at night, you can do this for yourself, but I'm going to do it for us since I'm here as our guide today. So allow your body to settle down, allow your muscles, your bones, everything to be heavy and held up here. And then let your exhale come fully out. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, that's one. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, that's two. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, that's three. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, that's four. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, five. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, six. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, seven. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, eight. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, nine. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale, 10. And then just allowing breath to come back into your body. Trusting that your body knows how to breathe itself. From here, we'll come into guided meditation. So we're going to take a nice long one today, like 5-6 minutes. I really encourage you all to give yourself this time to restore, to reset, so that you can better show up for yourself and others in your real life. So with your eyes closed, with your towel hopefully resting across your eyes, giving yourself permission to go inward, to release, to soften, to be held. Allowing your feet to release. Allowing every one of your toes to be soft. The soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, ankle joints release. Drawing your awareness up your shins, the backs of your calves, allowing all that to be heavy and soft. Allowing your knee joint to soften. Allowing those muscles of your thighs to take up space, the bones inside to be really heavy and supported by the floor. Softening across your outer hips, your low back. Allowing your low back to rest fully down onto the earth. Releasing across your mid back and your upper back. Shoulders are melting away from your ears. Drawing some awareness to your arms, letting the arms be heavy. Letting your elbow joints release. The forearms and the wrist joints release. Allowing your hands to be really soft here, so no need to hold anything right now. The fingers release. Even your fingernails are soft. Coming back to the front body, noticing what's happening in the belly and the stomach. So softening and opening there. Coming into the space of the heart. Just being with whatever is in the heart without judgment or shame. Just allowing it to be open and present. Allowing your collarbone to soften open. Allowing your neck and your throat to release. Let's check in with our jaw. So softening into the space of your jaw, letting your tongue be heavy. Letting your cheeks release. No need to hold the cheeks up or smile right now. Allowing your breath to flow in and out of your nose. Allowing sound to come in and out of your ears. Using the quality of sound to draw you into your internal self. So withdrawing from that sound and coming within your own body, your own spirit. Drawing awareness to your eyes, really letting the eyelids be heavy. Coming to that space between the eyebrows and the mind, just giving your mind a place to rest here. And if any thoughts pop up like they usually do, maybe seeing them as little clouds floating across the sky of the mind. So no need to attach to them, to run off with them. Just allowing yourself to be in this open, supported pose. And finally, the top of the head, your hair, just allowing everything to release and be held. From here, we'll just take 3 last big inhales, big exhales together. So allow your exhale to fall out. Through your nose, draw in a breath. Through your nose, release a breath. Through your nose, draw in a breath. Through your nose, release a breath. Through your nose, draw in a breath. Through your nose, release that breath. And then just allowing yourself to breathe, to be. We'll take our Shavasana, final rest. So just a minute here, just receiving the benefits of our practice, staying inside, and I'll call us back in just a little bit. So just starting to draw breath back into your body. If you have something covering your eyes, keep your eyes closed and just draw the thing off your eyes. So we're gonna slowly start to adjust to the light. So keeping your eyes closed, remove your towel or your t-shirt. Eventually rolling over to your right side. Make a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. Keeping your eyes closed, press yourself up to a comfortable seat, drawing your palms down on your thighs, settling your hips down on the earth, and maybe just noticing the benefits of a practice like this, where we go inside, where we know ourselves, where we take some time to remember our peace, our open heart, drawing your hands up to that heart, bowing your chin into your chest. Very slowly and gently start to flutter your eyes open. Start to bring back the external world. Maybe approaching the external world from this place of centered, wholehearted being. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so glad we can practice together like this, even if we can't be in person. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you. All right. I hope you enjoyed practice. Take care of yourselves. Share this wholeheartedness with others, please. Our world needs it. Okay. Bye.